Hi, Stamping Friends. It's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Wednesday, November 19th. Happy November, the week before Thanksgiving. Hope you're ready. Becomes a blur a little bit between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So tonight we're going to make a couple holiday cards, simple cards that will be sure to brighten your holidays. So before we get started, two quick things to mention. Starting on November 25th, we are having a Black Friday sale. So Stampin' Up, I don't think in all my years has done this before. Supposedly up to 40% off on selected items. So you'll want to check that out. My website is sherrythomas.stampinup.net. So on November 25th, I think it's until December 1st. Check out the great deals and see if you can, really snatch up some of those great deals. And then secondly, on December 4th, I'm having another kit together. I have a bunch of kits, including some of the new ones, and I think you'll really enjoy it. They're great for Christmas gift ideas. Also, if you just want to come hang out and make them, would love to have you join me. And if you don't live in town, of course, you can take part and get kits yourself. But if you come to this event, it's $30 for a kit, one kit, $25 each for two, or $20 each for above 3 and more kits. So really a good deal. And like I said, they're really great gifts. Tonight I brought a dinner to a friend, so I'm running a little behind schedule, sorry. And I gave her a kit because, if you're just recovering from surgery or whatever, it's a really great thing to be able to do. So really easy to put together and always great results. So, all right, that's all the announcements. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. I'll turn my camera over and I'll show you what we're going to make tonight. All right. Tonight we're going to use a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we're going to use products from the mini catalog, the big catalog online. And this is just to show you that there's so many different things you can do. You can mix and match. You don't necessarily have to go with everything that's in a suite. You can mix and match. So we're going to do some of that tonight. So tonight we'll be using from the Holiday Mini, the Christmas Tags and More 6x6 Designer Series paper, as well as the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. So these are both featured in the Holiday Mini catalog. Additionally, we'll be using the Party Alphabet dies that are shown in the big catalog. These just became available again, so really happy to see that because you can pair them up with the Party Banner dies. Really, really cute things you can do with that. So we're using that alphabet set, and then we're also using the Alphabet a la Mode dies, and these are from a previous mini, and they're now online. So just to show you that, we're also using the Branching Out dies. These are in the mini catalog, the Holiday Mini right now. And then we're also going to be using the traditional labels stamp set. And this is a really fun one. I'll show you some cute things we can do with it. And this one is online. So, okay, so that's what we'll be using tonight. And the cards we're making are these two cards. So you will see there is no stamping on the fronts of either of these cards. And I wanted to just show you how you can use alphabets, which traditionally we might use for a banner, for scrapbooking, different things like that. But look how you can make a beautiful card just by making some words with your alphabets. And these are simple words. So joy is just 3 letters, really quick and easy to cut out, and then ho, ho, ho. Super simple and easy to cut out as well. So we'll get started, and we'll start with this card here because you'll see how fast this one comes together. So for this card, I've got a half sheet of cardstock, and I cut it vertically, and then I did fold it on the side there, and that is Secret C. I've got a 1/4 sheet of the cloud cover, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. We will adhere this to the front. Hi, Sharon. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you joined me tonight. It's kind of a cruddy day yesterday here in Ohio, but today was a little bit better. So that is kind of the base of our card. And then what I did is I used these beautiful dies from the branching out set here. And I love it because they nest. And I picked one of the larger ones, and using that Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper, I cut out that shape. It's just a really, really pretty shape, and we will adhere that to the front. So that is the very base of our card. This white piece here, this will go on the inside. So you can write a lovely message on the inside of your card. All right, now, next. What I did is I did go ahead and cut out the word joy using the party alphabet dies, and I used the Peaceful Garden glimmer paper, and this is the cloud cover color. So very, well, hello, Susie Brunk. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a long, long time. She moved to Florida and she's living her best life, so we don't get to see her as much. Anyway, so glad you could join us. I'm putting dimensionals on my letters here. And we'll go ahead and position those on the front of our card, and you'll see just how easy this is. So what I typically do is I will do the far left and the far right letters first, and then fill in with the middle. And I feel like that is a pretty good way to ensure that you're centering the middle letter. Otherwise, if you're like me, you might like start too far to the left or to the right, and then you're like picking up letters and it's a mess. See how simple that is? And then one final touch if you want. I have this ribbon that is from that Peaceful Garden suite. It's gorgeous. It has, I think it's this nice dark blue with silver accents. And I'm gonna just tie a knot on the spine of the card here. And there you go. How easy is that? I cut my piece a little bit too long, so let me trim that off, and you're done. So again, super easy. Any paper combination colors would work for this, but I wanted to just show you how quickly you can make a nice Christmas card, because you know it is, what, November 19th, and we're getting down to a month. Have I done my cards? No, I haven't. So I probably need to make some of these because this one comes together super fast. Okay, so that is card number one. How simple. Card number two is it's not hard at all, but there's a few more little pieces because we have the word ho 3 times. And the card base here is real red, and I've scored it here in the middle. And this is gonna be a horizontal card. And then what I did is cut a piece of that Christmas tag and more designer series paper to 4 by 5 1/4, and that will be the card base. So we will adhere that to the front. Thanks, Felicia. All right, and then just like we did on the inside, we're gonna put a white piece, but this one we're gonna stamp. And I wanted to show you this because this is newer. This is the traditional label stamp set. And the Merry and the Christmas are separate, which you might think, well, why would you want to do that? Well, I'll show you why. So I want to stack it for this card. I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas. I could make it different colors. So that's one thing that you could do by having 2 stamps. But also, if you wanted, you could have it going horizontally. So it gives you a lot of versatility. So I wanted to show you that. I really like the fact that they're separated, and I could have done green and red or something, but I didn't. So there's our card base. So we'll go ahead and get started on the rest of the card. So again, I used those branching out dies, and I cut out a white and a red. They're nesting, so pick the size that works for you. I wanted some of my plaid to show, so I cut this one. It's not the largest of the dies. So all right, so what we'll do for this one is I did go ahead and I cut out my ho, 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 just so you didn't have to see me cranking my die cut. And I used the Season of Elegance Designer Series paper. Do you remember this from last year? This is still available online. It's gorgeous. And I liked the gold accents. You can't really see a lot of it, but it just gives it a little bit of shimmer on the ho ho ho. So for this type of thing, what I would do is first, because these are so thin, I would adhere the adhesive backing to these, okay? So it's real simple to do. I took a strip of Designer Series paper, I put the adhesive sheet behind it, and then I cut out my letters. So all of those have the adhesive sheet. So then what you do, and I'll just kind of show you so you don't have to sit here painfully watching me, I went ahead and I did position the first hoe and the second hoe. So, and what similar to what we did on that Joy card, I start with the far right or left, and then I do the far right. And then I can position and stagger in the middle. That way I'm not having an alignment problem. So I went ahead and I did go ahead, I put the red ones down. And so now for this is kind of an old olive color. I'm gonna stagger this one in the middle. But see how easy that is with the adhesive backing? And then you just take, you take a pick tool and you can usually pick it off pretty easily. Except I'm struggling a little bit here, but there you go. And then you just tack it right down. Makes it so much easier. You could glue it down, certainly could do that. But I'm not a very tidy gluer, so I think the adhesive sheet works great for this. So there's my ho ho ho. And then a fun extra little touch is the little Santa hat. So if you remember years ago, Stampin' Up! Had this Santa hat, which I've never gotten rid of because I love it. And you may or may not have that. It's okay if you don't. So I did cut out the hat and then the little, the white accents for that. If you don't have that punch, you can use a circle punch. So just take a circle punch, cut it out. This is old, you can tell. Cut it out, and then I just trimmed and kind of mimicked the shape of the hat. And then for the white pieces, you could use a hole punch, and you could freehand cut the trim. So it's not like it's, rocket science. You could do this without that punch. The punch just makes it easy. So I went ahead and I did glue down the accent pieces here, and I'm gonna have that little hat off to the side of my last hoe. Sounds kind of suspicious, doesn't it? So there you go. And then we will adhere this piece to our red coordinating nesting die cut piece. And then we are going to go ahead and put on the front of our card. And I'm going to use dimensionals, one in each corner. Remember, with dimensionals, you don't need to put a million dimensionals on here because these are so sticky. One on each corner does the job, and that way your supplies will last a little longer. So I've adhered that to the front of my card. There's my inside. Last but not least, I've got a bow. This is that new red. It's kind of got a little bit of gold accent to it. I'm gonna glue that onto the corner, but this will take a second to dry with the glue. So I will put one of my stamping blocks on it just to let it sit for a hot second. And there you have it. So those are the two cards, not very difficult. And all we did is used our alphabets, different ones, alphabet a la mode, and then the party alphabet dies. Different color combinations, but both really cute holiday cards, I think. So those are the two cards, and I am so glad you joined me tonight. We will go ahead and I will draw for the winners of the cards that I made 2 weeks ago. I was in Mexico last week, so I was not live. My husband and I went to Cabo San Lucas. We had a great time. I read 3 books. It was very relaxing and fabulous, great before the holidays. So if you remember last week, we used these beautiful snowflake dies and we created 2 different cards. This one, we used the masks. And on this one, this is a pretty simple one where we just cut out a snowflake and it's a fun fold. So let's draw the winners of these 2 cards. All right, so the first card here, oops, I got Judy King. This one is for you. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And know that anytime you comment or share on the projects that I make the videos, your name is automatically entered in to win the projects that I make each week. All right, for this other card, we've got Sandy Benson. So you are the winner of this card. And I think we had like 20, 25 people. So I really am so thrilled. And, I appreciate you sharing because it gets the word out, and, it's all about sharing the creativity. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I hope you like these cards, and I really hope to hear from you soon. The holidays are going to be a little tricky. Next week, I've got my mom, my daughter, a bunch of people coming into town. I may or may not be live on Wednesday. I'm not sure yet. Kind of depends. It might be impromptu. So sorry about that, but the following week for sure, I will be. So thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And don't forget about the Black Friday sale on November 25th. So you're not going to want to miss that. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.